but this thing is not, you don't try to turn your neck all the way, it might sprain. So you just need to turn the neck slightly and then take your eyes as much as you can. Then there is Bhrumadhya. There is only actually one pose. We practice this one, we haven't done that one yet. So when we do it, I'll mention it there. Then Urdhva, also one time we do it. And we didn't do it yet. Upward facing dog is Nasakra. Okay. Any questions about Drishti? No? Is it clear?
Drishti is, if we're looking like, as you mentioned on the right,
Yeah.
so should we extend our Drishti more every time we do the asanas of each
Yeah.
pose?
Yeah. You take your eyes all the way to the side. Now, no need to too much. Don't put too much pressure on the neck.
No, not the neck, the side.
Yes, you need to take it all the way as much as you can.
It's good to stretch the.
No, not every time. Yes, okay. You do, but do it with the shoulder,
with
please.
The shoulder.
Don't do it with the neck.
Yep.
Everybody understood? Any more questions about Drishti? So from next time, you know where to look. And also you have to look at the teacher sometime, that's part. But you know why there are 9? Now you should have this question that why do we look at you? Why is there no Drishti saying look at the teacher? Yes, questions should be there. So try to, analyze everything. Ask me questions more. More you ask, more you will learn actually. And more it will challenge me as well to teach you better. Because I can give you everything I know right now in my mind. But there are 1,000 other things which don't come to me at the moment. So if you ask me questions, I'll have to search it there. And I'll try to answer it as much as I know. If I don't know it, of course I'll say I don't know. So try to ask more questions. Okay, so why there is no teacher Drishti here? Because the real practice of Ashtanga Vinyasa is actually Mysore style. I was talking about it yesterday. Mysore style practice is the teacher doesn't talk or show any poses. But it comes a little later. So back in 1950 or something, when this all started, how it used to happen in Mysore was that you will come to the shala and you will start your practice. The teacher will give you certain poses from the series, not from anywhere where it begins. First day, like back in the days, it used to be much slower. I'm taking you guys really fast because we have only 24 days. If you were my permanent student, like for 1 year, I would take it super slow. And this practice is individual practice actually. Mysore style practice is individual practice because you are practicing in a group, but it is individual. Each person is doing according to their capabilities and the teacher is giving you what you earn. So not in lead class, what happens is somebody is really flexible, somebody is not flexible, but both have to do the same thing. Flexible person will feel like I'm not doing enough, and stiff person will feel like what the hell, I'm going to die here. So for this difference there is Mysore style. You come to the shala, the teacher gives you poses what you are capable to do, and also some more poses to progress further. So you keep practice until you master the pose, then you move forward. It's not like if you can't do it, still you move forward. That's how we do it today. But it's not how it used to happen. But now everything is fast. So that's why these all things. But it's not bad at all. You don't need to think that today how we do it is bad. It should have been like that only. But no, we do it every day. We do the same thing every day until it's better. Yeah. So how it used to happen, like let's say sun salutation. So you come to the practice. I'll give you sun salutation A 5 times. You do it. Next day you come. You do sun salutations. Maybe I'll give you sun salutation B as well if you do well. Next day you come, I'll give you 2 standing poses more. But let's say other person is doing much better, I'll give her more than you. So it's a group practice, but each individual is doing their own. But their teacher cannot talk obviously because everybody is doing their own thing. So they do it by themselves. Teacher will be there to tell them and correct them to them personally. Understood? And also to make corrections and adjustments. Any questions about Mysore style? We'll do it here after 1 or 2 weeks, one time, when we are more used to the practice.
The Mysore style is just Ashtanga or it's Ashtanga Vinyasa?
Ashtanga Vinyasa. Ashtanga was 8 limbs.
Okay.
Yes, Patanjali actually introduced only 4 poses. I think it was Siddhasana, Padmasana, Sukhasana, and Swastikasana. Like he only introduced 4 poses for meditation. He didn't mention all these asanas we do. They were more introduced in Hatha Yoga by Swatmarama and all these people. There are so many, thousands and thousands of different sages. Everybody trying to go in the same direction but different visions. Yeah? So that's more inspired from that Ashtanga Yoga. This Ashtanga Vinyasa is inspired from that, those 8 limbs. I'll talk about it later when we go further in our practice. Then you will understand it more. I'll talk about how it is merging together, that Ashtanga Yoga and Ashtanga Vinyasa Yoga. Now, any questions about Drishti?
Tip of the nose is basically you.
Yes, you just direct your eyes to the tip of the nose. Now, some of you might feel little pain or something, but it's fine. It happens in the beginning. Don't try too much to just go like this. Do it slight for this one because some people have migraine or something like that. So don't put too much strain on your eyes as well. So just do it slightly and keep it there. That's the main point. Stay with your drishtis. Don't just wander around during the practice. That's why there is no eyes closed, because there is no eyes closed here. And why we don't close the eyes? Because every day we do things. Even with open eyes, we wander around. We are looking here, we are looking there, thinking about when this is going to end, what are we doing. Always thinking something. That's why there are these things to keep ourselves focused. Now I can erase it? Yeah, okay.
One question.
Yes.
What is the connection between the vision and the breath and the movement? Like for a certain number of breaths, we hold the posture with the vision. So what's the connection between?
Yes, I'll come to it after I explain all 3. So I'll connect all the 3 dots first. Now I explain this. Then I'll come to Pranayama, then Bandhas, and then I'll connect all 3, yeah? Okay, Drishti, you guys understood. Now, breath. So we do Ujjayi breath here. Ujjayi is actually called fire breath as well. Ujjayi is one of the pranayamas out of 8 pranayamas introduced in I think Hatha Yoga. Out of 8, Ujjayi is one of the pranayama, and this is one pranayama that happens with the movement. I just mentioned before, few minutes before, that you need to sit still for pranayama. But then this question occurs, why we do pranayama during the movement? This is one exception. There is always exception. This is one pranayama that can happen during the movement. It is similar, very very similar to the breath we do while we are running, but with the mouth closed. Yeah? This is also called victorious breath. And there are so many names. People call it ocean breath and these things as well. So basically what it is, you are trying to make a sound, you're contracting your throat and you're trying to make a sound like ocean with your breath. So it's not basic breathing like how we do normally. How we breathe normally, we are not making sound every day we are living. We are not making sound with our breath. But why we do this? So we contract our throat here. It happens slowly. Exhale is easier to make sound. Just sit straight and try to contract and try to make a sound like this with your exhale first. Try it. I want to hear it. Yes. Now try the same thing with the inhale. This is Ujjayi breath. So this is what we are supposed to do during our practice. So from tomorrow on, when I say start Ujjayi breath, you need to start this breathing. Of course, it will come slowly. Sometimes you forget that there is Ujjayi breath we need to do. So come back to it and start again whenever you forget. So try this. We'll practice this more later. So this is Ujjayi breath. Now why we do this particular one and not the regular breathing, because this is, I said, fire breath. It creates heat in your body. Even if you are sitting in snow or something, you can sweat if you are really good at it. So long time back there were no ACs or anything like that, yeah. So how people used to control their own temperature. So if you're feeling too much cold, experiment it, don't just listen to me. When you go somewhere and it's really cold, you feel really cold, try to do this for 10 minutes, and if you do it well, you'll for sure start to sweat. And when we do it with the movement, we create more heat in our body. So that's why we do it during Ashtanga. We create heat in our body. We are supposed to sweat as much as we can actually. We are supposed to sweat during the practice. Sweat is really good because we are releasing the toxins from our body. There are so many things that are so impure in our body. We eat so many different types of foods. So we need to take all these toxins out through sweat. Yeah, so this is pranayama we need to do. Now, any questions about it? Is it clear? But there will be more explanations, I think, in pranayama class. So this is basic. We'll practice it. We'll try to do it every day from now. Okay. Should I move to bandhas?
Yeah.
Okay. So bandhas, there are 3 types of bandhas. Actually 4, but the 4th one is combined all together of 3. So bandhas, there is Udhyanabanda. Then there is Jalandharabanda. Then there is Mulabanda. Okay, Udhyanabanda is belly lock. So this one is belly lock. Jalandharabanda is chin lock. And Mulabanda is perineum lock. Okay, so Udhyanabanda. What bandha does actually, it's a lock for the energy. It works as a dam. You guys know dam already, yeah? Like for the river. So when we are practicing, we are creating a lot of energy. There is prana. There are 5 different airs in our body. You'll learn more about it in other classes. Prana, apana, udana, vyana and samana. So there are all in all parts of our body, but the main 2 are prana and apana. So we are rising the prana up, apana is going down. So we are trying to bring it all together. So bandhas are there so that we don't release our energy, what we create during the practice, what we rise up, so that it just doesn't go away from us. So that's why we do bandhas. Now what is Udhyanabanda? Actually, these are supposed to be done 100% in pranayama. But They are introduced in Ashtanga also, but this one cannot be done in Ashtanga in asanas 100%, because if we do it 100% we have to hold the breath. So what Udhyanabanda is basically, it's sucking the belly in all the way. But when I do 100%, I'll show you full first. So if I want to do full Udhyanabanda, I'll do so bandhas are more used in pranayama because retention of breath is also there. Pranayama is inhalation, exhalation, retention. So when we do these bandhas, we are locking the energy, rising the prana up. But this, I cannot do it during Ashtanga. If I hold the breath and do Ashtanga, of course I'll be down on my mat in 2 minutes hardly. And I cannot hold it for that long. I might have cramps or anything. So this cannot happen during asana practice. But what we do in the asana practice is 40 to 30% of it. What we do, remember the first day I said don't take your breaths down your navel. Yeah, that's what I mean. It's Udhyanabanda. You need to apply Udhyanabanda 30 to 40% only. So what Udhyanabanda is, normally the belly is like this, yeah? But if I want to apply Udhyanabanda, I'll just suck my belly in below the navel. You see, from here, I'll just suck the belly in below the navel. Now it's locked. If I want to breathe, I breathe only till this part. You see, the navel is not moving anywhere. So I'm controlling it. Also, this is tightening the core. It brings more control in our practice. It is not only locking the energy, it is making you feel lighter in your body. You want to do the jump through, perfect your Udhyanabanda, you will do the jump through. It's not only about the strength you gain in your muscles, it's also the combination of breath and bandhas. That's what I was saying, that when we connect all these three things to do the things more smoothly. Like, that's the difference between gym and yoga, right? There we do everything forcefully. Even the breath, if there is too much weight, we try to push it away from us. But in yoga, there is nothing forceful actually. Most of the things are just graceful. They are supposed to be graceful. Everything we do, even the jump backs, jump throws, they are supposed to be very graceful. They should not make us feel tired or anything. So bandhas, Udhyanabanda is one bandha that you apply from the start of your practice till the end. You release it only in Shavasana.
Every asana, sitting, standing.
Yes, every asana there is Udhyanabanda. You do forward folds. Let's say if I want to do Paschimottanasana, basic thing, and I don't have my Udhyanabanda, I'll go down like this. You see what's happening here? There is no space. But if I do Udhyanabanda, there is more space for me to go down. So it's deepening your pose. It is creating more space for you. When I'm twisting, if I don't do my Udhyanabanda, I'm just twisting like this. I'm twisting my whole belly. It doesn't feel so good to me. But when I do Udhyanabanda, first I straighten, my back becomes strong, and then I can twist more because I gain more control over my upper body. Yeah, so these are the main functions of Udhyanabanda. Locking your belly is tightening your core. You're using your core. You're engaging all these muscles. All these muscles in front are actually also connected to the back. So you're strengthening your lower back at the same time. Why we do Chaturanga every day, yeah? But it is so important to apply Udhyanabanda there. If you don't apply Udhyanabanda, you jump back to Chaturanga, you'll have so much impact on your lower back. Because middle back, there are ribs to support it. Upper back, there is shoulder, very big things supporting it. But what does lower back have? Nothing, just muscles. So it needs more support. So there is Udhyanabanda there to support it. So whenever you are jumping back or things like this, there needs to be Udhyanabanda to gain more control over your movements. Even coming down going down, coming up from standing poses, there should be Udhyanabanda. If you just go down like this, you'll do a free fall basically. But so everything needs to be controlled. So you bring more control with the bandhas. Yes. Any questions about Udhyanabanda?
Even in inversions, your
Yes,
Sarvanga
everything,
Halasana,
everything.
breathing.
Yes. But one thing actually that's good question. In inversions, it is so difficult to breathe with the bandha. Of course, because there is chin going down your chest, there is not much space, but it happens only in the beginning actually. When you practice more, you are more open, where you do more back bending and stuff like this. Your actually upper chest should be like a balloon. That's like how I say it. I think not every teacher will say it like this. So how I think of it is like it should be like a balloon. You put air in it, it will go this big. You take the air out, it will go like this. So that's how your chest should be. You create more space here. Even if you're twisting, you create space there to breathe. Yeah.
Also, as you said, we lock
Yes.
our belly while we jump down and come
All
back.
the time.
And while we get up and get down. But
Yes.
how do we come to that realization, because we are already flowing past? So like how to catch that and without mentioning it, like, or maybe it's with practice, but
Yes, of course. It's with practice. So what you do is in samasthiti. Remember, when I say samasthiti, I say lock the knees, engage the thighs, suck the belly in.
yes.
That is your instruction. That should not be released until
Right.
Shavasana. And I keep saying it during the practice, suck your belly in forward folds I say. In so many places I say suck your belly in. I'm just trying to remind you to do Udhyanabanda. I didn't introduce the name yet because I didn't want to confuse you guys. You might think what this thing is, Udhyanabanda, because you have maybe not heard of it or something. So that's why we need to do it throughout the whole practice. You can do it in Hatha Yoga as well. It's not like it should not be in Hatha Yoga. But some teachers mention bandhas in Hatha Yoga as well, some teachers don't. There are so many different ways of doing Hatha Yoga. But in Ashtanga, you have to do it throughout the whole practice, release it only in Shavasana. Put it there and don't forget about it. Keep your attention throughout your whole body. That's one thing. You have to be conscious about each thing in your body. That's why we do yoga, right? We need to be more conscious about things. We are looking around so much that we forget what's happening with us, close to us, what's happening. We forget that we need to suck the belly in and think about what's the dinner or lunch 2 hours, 3 hours, 5 hours later, but we forget what's 10 inches down. Yeah, so there is more consciousness. We are more aware of things, how our toes needs to be, what bandha, what breath there needs to be. So more conscious, more you practice and more you get conscious and aware of it. So it will come automatically with practice. You won't forget about it. You won't have to keep reminding yourself all the time later, but in the beginning you have to cross check these things whenever you're doing the practice. Alignment, tick. Drishti, tick. Breath, tick. Bandhas, tick. That's how you do in the beginning. But later it manifests there. It sets in your subconscious and it happens automatically. That's when the gracefulness comes actually. In the beginning everything is not graceful. It's not graceful at all right now. If I say Ashtanga is graceful, you might think I'm crazy. So in the beginning, of course, it's not graceful, but we have to practice more years and years to make it graceful. Yes, any other questions?
So throughout the Ashtanga, the chest area will be a little bit.
Yes, it's
the
always
whole-
open.
The
Yes.
whole throughout the
Yes. Actually, why do we want to do this ever? We keep this open. It shows that you are obviously more confident. You know what you're doing. And what does this do?
Opens up your lungs.
Like if I sit like this and talk about samadhi, do you think I'll make any sense? Even if I'm saying the true things, you might not feel like I'm saying something so important if I sit like this and talk to you guys about things. I need to be, so that energy is flowing up. We sit straight, we keep our chest open so that we are creating space for our inner energy to flow upwards. So we are directing our energy upwards all the time. We are not just releasing it down. Yeah, there is gravity, of course. So it's all going down automatically, but there is effort to keep it up. That's why we always sit straight and things like this. Yes, any other question? Okay, Jalandharabandha. It is one of the most easiest. It's basically chin log. So you bring your chin to this part in the middle. So there are collarbones, touch here. There are ends of collarbones here, and then in middle there is some part. So that's where you need to put it. But you cannot do this exact during asanas. So again, it's not 100% in asanas. You do it half. You just bring it down and start to breathe. If you do full Jalandharabandha, again you cannot breathe. So this we don't do all the time because we need to take our head to certain places. Downward facing dog. Why there is Nabhi Chakra, navel center drishti? Because we do the Jalandharabandha. We don't let everything go all the way up because energy can release from anywhere else. We are down there in downward facing dog. Our head is down. We are raising the energy up, but then we need to lock it from up as well so that it doesn't go down because our head went down. Yeah. So that is Jalandharabandha. Basically, this is one of the easiest to do, and this is intermediate. Yes, any questions about Jalandharabandha? Okay, now Mulabanda, the most mysterious one. Why? Because this is perineum lock and not everybody is able to contract the exact muscles. So what perineum is it's a middle part between your reproductive organ and your anus. So in the middle there is a very slight contraction. It's not like contracting your whole down part. It's just slight contraction, and it's so subtle, but it is super powerful. It is most beneficial because that's where the energy is draining down. Even if I lock my knees, I don't take my energy out of my feet. I'm locking my knees sitting in Padmasana. There also I need to do the Mulabanda because it can go down from anywhere. Yeah, so there is Mulabanda. You're locking the energy from down there. Why is it mysterious? Because it is so hard to find the exact muscles. Now we'll try it. This is something I cannot show. So sit straight, remove the bolster. And try to put your finger just below the navel. And put your one hand behind your back on the lower back and suck the belly in. Sit straight and try to contract. Slight contraction will happen. Try to feel it in the middle, not the whole area you need to contract. It is very subtle. It happens. If it comes, that's really, really good. If it doesn't come, that's fine. It will come with time. So suck the belly in, apply the Udhyanabanda a little bit, and try to contract that part as well. If you feel it, that's really good. Yes, do you guys feel anything or not yet?
Some pressure, I think.
Yeah, little bit of course you'll feel, but the exact point is not so easy to find, but it comes with the practice. And this is one part that takes most of your focus. Even in my practice, I have to be really aware of Mulabanda to keep it locked. Because you see, it is very slight, very subtle, so it is easiest to lose and really hard to gain. So I have to be really focusing on that part during my practice. to contract it. So how much focus I'm putting? Mulabanda. Then there is breath. Then there is drishti. Then there are asanas we are doing. So many things going on. Do we still have time to think about food or anything? Like what clothes we are going to wear? No. That's the whole point of the practice, to take your mind away from the things, external things, and bring it internal. Yes, any questions?
So this again is throughout the practice, pairing with
Yes.
Mula.
Mulabanda also, you start in your Samasthiti, you release it
During
before your Shavasana.
So that is a belly tucked in, but
Belly tucked in is Udhyanabanda.
in the Mulabanda, as you said, it's mysterious, it's hard to find.
Yes, it's perineum.
And who
Yes.
has it, they do it, they tuck it along
It's not in the belly.
under the navel.
No, it's between the anus and the genital, down there.
Down
So
there.
it's not here, it's down there.
Ah, okay.
Yes, so there you need to feel it. I said here because you suck the belly in, so you contract whole area, so you will feel little bit. But it is so hard to find, that's why.
It's like sometimes you need to go to pee and you just contract down.
Yes,
the
you are
muscles.
holding your pee.
So it's like that,
Yes.
and it's very hard to hold it.
Yes.
So it's
Actually, this is one joke I make with my yoga friends. If I'm going to washroom, I don't say I'm going to washroom. I say to them I'm going to release my Mulabanda. So they understand what I mean. So this is one mysterious thing. Now let's connect all three. So there is. Can I erase it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there is bandha, there is breath, then there is drishti. So these are the three main things we do, and of course asanas are there, vinyasa is there. It's already there, but these are the things we do inside the asanas and the vinyasa. Yeah, so we don't have time for any other thing there. We are just focusing. And it's also one thing, like if you do all these together, you don't have the thought during the practice of what you're going to do next. If you notice really closely your thoughts, try to do it in the next practice. So when you're practicing, try to notice what your thoughts are. Watch them like you watch TV or video or something. Watch your thoughts and see what they do. If they are going away out of the shala somewhere, even if they are in the shala, what the mind is thinking, try to become an observer. You will see that sometimes the mind is thinking what you are going to do next. So you are in downward facing dog, but you're thinking about jump through because you have to do it and it's not very graceful yet. So you're thinking about how you're going to do the jump through. But when you practice more, you only are in present. So this all hassle we do to be present. Not in the past, not in the future. Yeah? And we do this in asanas together. So let's example jump through. This is one thing my teacher said to me when I went to him. I was very young at that time. I didn't have any strength at all. These jump throughs and jump backs were so far from me. And he said that if you use 70% of bandha, 20% of momentum, 10% of strength, you can do these things gracefully. But this sounds so good. Okay, I'll use 70% of bandha, 20% of momentum. It sounds so easy said than done, but it is so hard to do. So you need to connect all these dots together. Like when you are going to jump through, what you do basically, you're here, you bend your knees, you suck your belly in, you apply your Mulabanda, you then jump. Here you try to contract, and then you land down. There is also momentum, that spring momentum I do when I bend the knees. Why I bend the knees? Because I'm creating momentum to go forward. So this is what it is. Even if I'm standing, let's say I do this pose, yeah? So I need to do the bandhas here. If I don't do the bandhas, how I'll come up is this. I won't come up this way, but that's the main purpose of everything. With the breath, I'll come up. I'm more controlled. I have more control over it. If I go down, if I don't apply the bandhas, how I'll go down? Like this. Does it look good? It doesn't look good. It doesn't feel good either. But when I apply the bandhas, the breath, the drishti, I'll do this. I'll go down this way. So it is more about being in present and being more controlled of what you do.
So, storing the energy is very important.
Yes, exactly. Storing the energy is really important. Everything we do, it takes energy. Yeah, but in yoga, it doesn't only take energy, it gives you back. So you are practicing, you're not only using the energy you saved during your sleep, you relaxed, of course, you gained more energy, now you're refreshed in the morning. But you do yoga in the morning, would you feel like you're tired? In the beginning, of course, you might feel you're tired, but when you are at some level in your practice, you don't feel that tiredness, you feel more refreshed because you spend your energy, but after some point, after giving, you get back. That's, cause and effect. Karma yoga, this is a cycle. What you do comes back. So you spend the energy during the practice starts to give you more energy. So you feel more refreshed. If I example myself, I do my practice before my class. So if I was not doing it for a long time, I would be sleeping right now, because if I wake up 4:30, practice before the class and do all these things, then talk 1.5 hour, now talk all these things, I would be sleeping right now because I will be too tired. Talking takes a lot of energy, and especially as a yoga teacher, this is one thing, you have to know how much energy to give during a class. This is also, you're learning art of teaching as well. Like, you need to use your voice, you need to be strong there, show things, running around 1.5 hour. Of course, you guys are doing the practice, I'm also doing some things, at least talking there. Yeah, so it all takes energy, but everything starts to give back the energy when it is more meditative. When you're more present in something, first thing, you forget the time doesn't appear there, and when there is no time, you don't feel the need to rest, or you feel more energized all the time. When you're doing something fun, do you remember time? Do you feel you're doing something fun? Oh, this is so fun, but I'm so tired. Do you ever say the same two things at the same time? No, you're energized. Fun things give you energy. So this is not only what gives you pleasure, but this is something gives you energy to do other tasks of the day. Yeah, any questions? Do we have time? I talked too much. I need to do a few things here as well.
It's 12:50 minutes. 5 minutes.
One question.
Yes.
So in asanas, we try to lock the energy.
Yes.
Yesterday in the meditation class, after we were done, we were asked to lie down so that all the energy goes
Yes.
to the earth. So
There are two different things.
they're two completely different.
Yes, asanas, we are raising our own energy up and then storing it inside to do the tasks. What you did yesterday, you did a lot of things, you raise your energy, but you release down actually what doesn't belong to you. Your body is so, actually the highly functioning, most technological thing is your body. There is no machine like our body in the whole world. Every machine is made by, of course, humans. So, but we are the most complex ones. We are so smart. Our body is so smart, not us, because so many things there. We have become more dumb with time. But if you notice kids or something, they are so smart as they are kids, because there are not much external distractions there. So our body is already very smart. There are three stages of mind: conscious, subconscious, and superconscious. So subconscious is super smart, so you release what doesn't belong to you. Yeah, but you release it. But meditation, you did a lot of things. After you are going for lunch, so you release what doesn't belong to you. You are more refreshed actually. After you release, you create space for more energy to come in, more things you can take in. You create space there. That's the main thing. You lie down, you feel like you're draining down, but when you wake up, do you feel drained down, or do you feel
Very light.
very light? So you take the burden out basically. Yeah. So this is the whole thing, you do this and release. This is also in martial art, Tai Chi and things like this. They do this, all these things. They release things they don't need. They are taking their burden out. That's the main thing. Yes, any other question? Okay, we'll quickly go through sun salutation. So I'll just cover a little bit of sun salutation. Not everything I cannot cover in 5 minutes. It will take half an hour. But sun salutation A. Surya Namaskar. A. Okay. Now how many steps are there in Surya Namaskar A? You guys did it for 3 days now.
8, 10,
9.
and
Okay, yes, everybody will have a different answer, I think. So, yes, how many?
More than 10.
More than 10. A. Okay, yes.
9.
Yes.
About 9.
About.
Oh, okay.
Give me one number.
Okay. 10.
10. 11. 10. कितने steps हैं इसमें? 9. Okay, yes, exact number is 9. Samasthiti. Okay, yes, one thing. Samasthiti is not a pose. Is there a follow-up asana written behind it? Samasthiti asana. Do we say Samasthiti asana? No. Samasthiti is a neutral position. What is pose is Tadasana. Mountain pose is very similar, but they are two different things. Samasthiti is neutral pose. You don't do it for 5 breaths. I can't. Do you ever see me counting 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 in Samasthiti? No, because this is not a pose to do. Yeah. Sun salutation have 9 steps. When I start to say Ekam Dve, so when there are poses, they are counted as steps, not the Samasthiti. There are 2 Samasthetis, one in the beginning, one in the end, but they don't count. It is only 9. With Samasthiti it's 11, but that doesn't count. Yeah, okay. So what is sun salutation A basically? You guys did it, yeah? So now tell me what breaths I need to use. So first I'll apply Samasthiti here. Now I'm going very brief, but tomorrow I'll take time for Samasthiti itself, because it is very simple yet the hardest thing to do. And I'll explain it tomorrow class, but now we'll just go through sun salutation really quick. So we start in Samasthiti. Let's say I'm standing straight looking at the tip of the nose. Now what do I need to do? Inhale, yes, what else?
Suck
And tuck the belly in.
No, after Samasthiti. I did it already.
Okay.
Yes, I did it already. After Samasthiti, what do I need to do?
hands up.
Okay, so raise the hands up, inhale. This is first step. Now, let's break it down. How to raise the hands up. So, some people will do it like this. Some people will do it this way. You will find some later as well who will do it also this way. But what's the best? For me, I do it not like this or out. First thing is I do this way. Why? Because if you did it like 30 years back, you could do like this. But now everything is more populated. You don't have that much space. There might be someone you'll be hitting beside you. So one thing, this is actually really good to do, but if you don't have space, this is what I do most of the time. So why I don't do this? Because you see, if I start here, I'm closing my chest already. Not everybody is able to do like this and do this. It feels really weird. That doesn't give the rotation of the shoulder really well. But if I do from here, if I start, I raise my hands up and then my head follows. I'm doing the same thing this does, but I'm also not using extra space. So I go from middle, I go here. Now I join my palms. One thing, some people will do this, some people will do this. Actually, this is the hardest to do because this is taking your strength of the muscles. You need to keep holding here. Now this you need to do. Some people have very tight shoulders, so they are not able to do, they have really big shoulders, so they won't be able to do this. They'll do something like this. Maybe not everybody will see like this, but there will be some people. More you travel or practice, you will find these type of people everywhere. So some people will be like this. So what they can do is they can just open their arms and look towards the ceiling. Yes? And here, Samasthiti was what Samasthiti? It's this. But when I raise my arms up, only my arms are going up. Rest, it's Samasthiti there. Yeah. Now what's the second step?
Eyes towards the back of the thumb.
Step. Yes, that I did already.
Bend
What do I need to do
forward.
next? Yes, bend forward. Now how do I bend forward? Do I go like this? Or I can just go down like this? Yes. So what you need to do is Samasthiti there as well. You are just staying straight as you can and then taking your hips actually. You're not using your spine there. You're taking your hips back slightly. Because if you don't take your hips back, you're going to fall forward. You need to create that center of gravity. From here, you take your hips back, down. You try to keep your back straight as much as possible. But not everybody is that flexible. What they can do, they can go as much as they can. And when they stop, when they start curving, they need to